I think with the hundreds of thousands in sponsorship dollars, I could get a shaker that doesn't drip like that. Anyway, welcome back to Late Night with Dr. Paul. I'm here tonight with soon-to-be good friend Barry Gander, co-founder of iCanada. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Glad you could make the show. I'm glad you could make it into Halifax. You're based in Ontario.
Yes, and in fact, I'm trying to change that. I've noticed that you guys have an awful lot going for you here, and if you think you're hiding it from everybody any longer, you're wrong. I'm trying to sell my house in Ontario and move here. So I think Halifax and Nova Scotia in general have so much going for them, so much potential, just on the edge of doing fabulous things, and I want to be there when that happens.
I hope you're right. Tell me about iCanada. What is that exactly? I assume it's some sort of joint venture with Apple.
One of the few that's not, in fact, but a good opening. The fact is that we started iCanada about 4 years ago with the notion of making each community in Canada into an intelligent community or a smart community. And the reason for that is that over 20 years of experience, it's been proven that smart communities have higher employment rates, better wages, better educational systems, and have an environment where people want to live. It's the way that Canada can move ahead when it's being faced with competition. It's just unreal in terms of the way the world is going. There are now 40,000 new cities being founded each year across the globe, and it's because 1 million people each week are moving into cities. So Halifax is not just competing against the people it was competing against yet last year, and this year is competing against 40,000 more cities who are vying for attention.
So being a smart city, an intelligent community, whatever, that's sort of a more formal designation. It's not just something you randomly just sort of throw out there.
No, good point, Paul. And in fact, yes, it has a meaning, and it's a well-defined set of criteria. The Intelligent Community Forum, actually, and I want to make sure that I'm interchanging these words, although some might not. An intelligent community and to us a smart community are the same thing. But in any event, this forum in New York was founded about 12 years ago, and it has, in that time period, received 300 nominations roughly each year from cities around the world to achieve that vaunted title of most intelligent community in the world. And this year, Toronto won that competition against all the cities in the world. So we were very pleased with that. The thing that made Toronto win was a very, very high-speed network along the Toronto waterfront. And that project is about $1 billion IT spend. But what they're trying to do is put in a gigabit speed to each of the residents of that community area. But it's not just for a technology boost. Their desire is to put 40,000 new jobs into that waterfront area of Toronto. Their thought is that they will have a network that the gaming companies and the computer companies absolutely need to have that speed. So when I saw my colleague Bill Hutchison doing that presentation, Bill was in charge of that project, I said, Bill, we have to take this across Canada because this is the benchmark all the cities are going to have to face. And so we came up with the concept of iCanada, and we decided to take that waterfront Toronto benchmark and see what kind of models we could develop to help other cities achieve that.
Okay. So you're helping different communities, cities, what have you, meet whatever compliance guidelines there are through Intelligent Community Forum in New York. Is that
exactly right. And
perhaps an oversimplification?
It's very, very close, and it's not just the guidelines, of course, for the ICF in New York, but there are benefits, no matter how you measure it, to increasing your evolution up the ladder towards being an intelligent community or a smart community. And each city is going to be different in how it approaches this. And so the tools we developed with our industry colleagues are very flexible. They take what a city is right now and how people see it as it now is, and move it up the scale in a set of meetings between the sector groups and so on, to evolve it into being a smart community that everybody is happy with, that's a consensually decided community with the right kind of network to achieve what it wants to achieve.
Is that something that Halifax is on a path to achieve? Or?
Absolutely. One of the things that, of course, a smart community does is create, for example, a new and revived entrepreneurial class of people. And I know that, for example, in that movement, or driving that goal, you have many people in Halifax who are experts at this and who've been doing it many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
As mentioned, Neville Guilfoy, for example, and Paul Kent, both excellent at doing this. It's not that there's anything missing in Halifax at all. It probably is a matter of coordination and getting behind one focus and one drive. I note that in the latest employment stats for Canada, New Brunswick and Nova Scotia have grown a little tiny bit for employment, but they were at the bottom of the list of growth areas in Canada, whereas PEI, just as it were across the water, is doing pretty well. The difference between those provinces, I think, is that PEI has focused on immigration and on focusing on a few areas like bioscience. So they're bringing in people from around the world to do this particular thing. And Halifax has got so many opportunities that it could do. And I think it might be an idea to find a few that you're going to be doing in an exemplary fashion and carry those forward.
One of the challenges that we have looking at those numbers, of course, is that PEI being so small, every time they open a new Tim Hortons, the unemployment numbers go up about 1.5 points. But good for them anyway.